Kamikaze is the Special Attack Unit, or a part of the Japanese Special Attack Units of military aviators who initiated suicide attacks for the Empire of Japan against Allied naval vessels in the closing stages of the Pacific Campaign of World War II, designed to destroy warships more effectively than possible with conventional air attacks. About 3,800 kamikaze pilots died during the war, and more than 7,000 naval personnel were killed by kamikaze attacks. Kamikaze aircraft were essentially pilot-guided explosive missiles, purpose-built or converted from conventional aircraft. Pilots would attempt to crash their aircraft into enemy ships in what was called a body attack in planes laden with some combination of explosives, bombs, and torpedoes. Accuracy was much higher than that of conventional attacks, and the payload and explosion larger. About 19% of kamikaze attacks were successful. A kamikaze could sustain damage that would disable a conventional attacker and still achieve its objective. The goal of crippling or destroying large numbers of Allied ships, particularly aircraft carriers, was considered by the Empire of Japan to be a just reason for sacrificing pilots and aircraft. During the Battle of the Philippine Sea, the Japanese Navy brought into action their best-ever carrier design, the IJN Taiho. While she lacked the catapults of many of its American rivals, she was heavily armored, carried 73 aircraft and boasted radar. She meant to serve on the front line and protect and support older carriers. With massive supplies of ammunition and fuel, she would be able to refuel and rearm planes from other ships. On the 19th of June 1944, Taiho was turned into the wind to launch another wave of her aircraft, 16 Zeros, 17 Judy dive bombers and 9 Jill torpedo bombers. As Taiho's planes circled overhead to form up, American submarine USS Albacore reached an ideal attack position and fired a salvo of 6 torpedoes at the carrier. Warrant Officer Sakio Komatsu saw the torpedo wakes and almost immediately he banked his Judy dive bomber into the path of one, causing it to detonate against the plane and preventing a hit against the carrier, at the cost of his own life and his crew. 4 of the remaining 5 torpedoes missed their target, possibly due to Komatsu's action. The 6th torpedo, however, found its mark and the impact fractured the aviation fuel tanks and jammed the forward elevator. During the next 6 hours, Taiho continued fighting while the leaking fuels were turning into vapors, filling the ship and turning her into a bomb. Eventually Taiho blew, taking 1,650 officers and men out of a complement of 2,150 down with her.